sound before. The violent crunch and the teeth-slitting scrape over the peculiar thunder that shook the night in a rumbling, protracted roar. It could be nothing else. Except it wasn't possible. It was too cold for thunder, far too late in the season for this sort of storm. Wasn't it? Leaning hard against the weather, she launched herself onto the porch. Her feet hit the cedar boards. She slipped. She steadied herself. The air sizzled with ozone and fire. A flash too close, too hot and sudden. The power went out. All the ambient light in the big old house disappeared in an instant. No glowing clock numbers from the stove in the kitchen, no soft night lights in the hall to guide the way to the bathroom, no lamplight spilling out of her grandson's room, no moon, nothing, except... She wiped wet hair out of her eyes and saw the flash of lightning in the distance, silent and bright, sparks flying from the power lines. The lighthouse at the north end of the island, its lamp burning a streak of white that swung back and forth across the churning water in the shipping lanes, powered by its own emergency generator. Everything else was black. Charlotte scrambled down the 3 short steps to the ground, clutching the rail all the way. Her feet hit the brick walkway and slipped, but she still had one hand on that rail. Against the odds, she stayed upright, leaned against the wind, squinted against the driving rain that still spit hard off the water. It was hard to see. Impossible if you didn't know what you were looking for. Charlotte knew, and when the sparkling edges of the night's wee hours showed something enormous resting at the beach's edge, she almost stopped breathing. Instead, she started running. Her joints ached and her chest burned. She was closer to 100 years old than most people ever come, but she had never been as fragile as her grandson believed. Once, she'd stood against a bigger storm than this. And she'd wielded the earth itself against the ocean, against a house, against a man. But the cost had been great, and she could not pay it twice. She stopped running. Her lungs screamed and her ankles popped. Her ribs ached and her eyes stung. Simon was calling out, but she couldn't hear what he was saying. When she checked over her shoulder, he was only a flailing shadow. He stumbled forward, feeling his way from the house in the trees to the edge of the water. When the lighthouse lamp swung her way for the briefest instant, she saw him struggle toward her in sock feet. Before her, the terrible square block of darkness, somehow blacker than the night that surrounded it. She could see nothing past it. Not the thrashing waves, not the swelling tide, not the horizon line, or the land on the far side of the sound. Slowed by age, but propelled by terror, Charlotte pushed forward. She knew every boulder, every driftwood log, and every grass-covered dune at the edge of her property. She knew where to step and where to avoid, but there might be new debris. There could always be fresh obstacles between Charlotte and the beach. None of it was half so dangerous as the thing that couldn't have possibly come back on shore. All the same, there it was. A structure carved out of a black hole, with all the same inscrutable gravity. Charlotte hadn't seen it in 70 years. Apart from a faint outline when the lightning flashed, she couldn't see it now. It absorbed the reality around it. It consumed everything, everyone. Simon came running up behind her at an uneven pace that half slapped, half stomped. "Stay there!" She held out her hands. "Don't come any closer." Years before, she'd stopped worse things that way. A lift of the hands, the raising of a horn, old words in the old family tongue, carefully pronounced. Old words, shouted, given to the earth, thrown at the water. Now forgotten, old. Words, lost. Charlotte gasped. Her vision went white and spangled. She dropped to her knees. Something inside cracked. She heard it, but she did not feel it. She opened her mouth in case...